Down. Zoom's down.
Well, open Zoom, put it on the other monitor.
You think I didn't move meetings today? I moved the shit out of those meetings.
So did I. We're trying to do some migration shenanigans though. Also, I don't want you all to see my work persona. We don't need to see that.
Oh,
I already know your work persona.
Angelica.
No, you don't.
Yeah. I know you.
Oh.
Yeah, you know 2 of my personalities. I have 5.
Yeah. It's fine. I can, like, there's what's the thing? Extrapolate.
Anyway, welcome back, viewer, to Break. This is Break for Fallthrough episode 34. I don't know the title because we have not titled it yet. Angelica is very insistent that we call it a Speak to Me, not at me. I don't know if people understand what that means though. Oh my god. Anyway, in this episode of Break, I'm joined by Matthew Sanabria, Dylan Burke, and Angelica Hill. And so what were we talking about? We were talking about something at the tail end. Oh, whether we should allow new speakers at conferences. That was a tense. So we can talk about that.
I fall on both sides of that coin because as someone who was picked as a first-time speaker, I benefited from the fact that GopherCon does allow first-time speakers, but I feel the arguments the other way because I've also been in the room with first-time speakers who struggled and get a lot of things from people. Hey, what do you think about this talk? Well, that you should just write a blog.
Yeah. I think the whole talk situation, like in general, conference talks just need an entire revamp. Like, there was a point in time in history when, like, standing in front of a podium, or I guess behind a podium, and talking at people or to people was like a good way of spreading knowledge and information. And I feel like that has been obsoleted by YouTube by and large. So I think, like, it's not that we should get rid of talks at conferences. It's that I think we need to have them transform into something else, which I think is like a form of like educational entertainment or something where it's like a way to like bond, but also learn. So you feel like you're part of a thing. So it feels like a reason to be in the room, I think, is kind of what we need there.
I think I would really enjoy an alternate format where it's a much smaller audience and it turns into less presentation and more Q&A.
Yeah.
Like 15, 20 minutes of your presentation and then 20 minutes of conversation with the people in the room.
Oh, like how comedians do crowd work now, and so much of comedy has become crowd work. It's like you should do
they can't just do their rehearsed bit over and over again at every show. People stop coming.
I mean,
do you think that puts an extra layer of pressure though? Because I feel like if you asked me to do a talk on something I was really passionate about, I could give a really good talk. But then, depending on the talk, if you put me on the spot and you're like, let's ask me questions now, I think that's a whole other layer. And also, I'm going to be 100%, I've been to conferences where they've allowed Q&A, and there's always one individual in the audience who wants to prove they're cleverer than the speaker and asks a question that's like specifically trying to call them out or like catch them. So I feel like I love the idea of like discussion and discourse, but I think, and I love the idea of more of a community discussion, but I think being careful that doesn't give people the go to ask questions to try and prove they're clever or catch out the speaker. Because I'd love to say no one would do that, but I've seen it and it's been not great.
I guess the mental image I have is more of, okay, now everyone mill around and talk amongst yourselves, and
nice.
the presenter joining conversations and bouncing around. Not and here's a microphone and someone come up, and because that always fails. Anyone have a question? Anyone? Bueller?
I love that idea.
I guess part of it too is just like, what is it that we think being on stage is about? So it kind of feels like it's like, oh, well, we should just give anybody that might have something interesting to talk about the opportunity to be on stage. And I think that's a bad use of the space. Like, I think there are so many other like good mediums. It's like, oh, like if you were, let's say you're like running like a multimedia, like, you know, you have like a blog and you have like a YouTube channel and all of this. You could have someone that's like really good at writing, but really bad in front of the camera. And you're like, okay, yeah, we're going to have that person write articles. We're not going to have that person in front of the camera. And I feel like that's similar for like this, where it's like, yeah, if you can't deal with someone asking you like a tough question or like a kind of gotcha style question, like, I guess this style really isn't for you. And I think it's okay for it to like not be for some people. I mean, that's like, most people shouldn't be comedians because like they can't deal with like people heckling them and whatnot. I just got to be able to like roll with the punches and whatnot. Or like most people can't be professional musicians or can't be like professional athletes. And I think for like what we're asking of audiences to attend these things, we should treat it like it's a profession. And I think that's also probably part of the root of like why conference talk sucks so much, is because it's not people's profession, right? It's like, this is a thing that you do in your side time. And so you can like get on stage and, you know, you do it out of the goodness of your heart a lot of times, or because you want to get better at public speaking or something, but it's not because this is the thing that you do for your life and for your career.
For me, it's been, as a speaker, it's been partially, I want to get better at public speaking. But if you go back and look at the talks that I've given, they've all been around, here's something that hurt. And I think other people are experiencing the same pain. And here's what we did to go resolve that problem. And I want to go share that. And it's more about the storytelling for that journey than, hey, look at this cool new blog, this cool new tech that I found.
Yeah. Matt, looks like you want to say something.
Yeah, I was just listening to all of you and thinking about who I wanted to respond to first.
So I'm gonna call you all out because you're all fucking wrong.
You're all wrong. Because I'm really big, you know, like I just don't need to go to workshops anymore.
So first of all, I'm more famous
because I know everything.
I don't even need workshops anymore.
So big with that big bald head.
I'm just so
sorry,
over-learning.
I'm getting heckled now, and I don't like this, so I don't appreciate this.
You're not made to be a comedian, Matt. That's what we've heard.
Too bad you're a podcaster. Anyway, sorry, continue.
No, I like what Dylan's saying about the QA. We don't have enough QA or discussion after talks. I always use the example of a movie, right? We all go see a movie together. What's the first thing we do when we get out of the theater? We like, oh, remember the part where they did that? And we start discussing the movie and just having like interesting conversations around it, or like, oh, that part sucked, or I really like how they did that. That's valuable. That builds relationships. That allows people to like recall the talk, right? That's the active recall kind of coming into play, where you're walking out of the talk or you're discussing, and you can immediately recall like, oh, on slide 7 you said blah 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 about this. That's all about active recall and community building. And at conferences, we just don't allow that at all. We're just like, oh yeah, good job with your talk, bye everyone, next room. And it's like that nobody can digest the talk, nobody can recall it, nobody can ask questions. And I think that's a misfortune of the current way conferences operate. Now, yes, to Angelica's point, you will probably get some asshole, and I'm gonna call him an asshole to be honest with you. You will get someone like that that's going to ask a question to try to like, you know, take a little stab at you or whatever. And of course, it's gonna happen more to like minority groups often versus majority groups, because they're going to try to be like, oh, you're the woman on stage, I'm going to get you. It's like, we know this is a thing. My stance is both what Kris said, like you are going to have to deal with some of that heckling and whatever, just by nature of being there. You know, the same way you're in a sporting event and you're doing your profession, there's going to be fans in the audience yelling at you. But also, the fan is in the audience yelling at you, and they're showing their assholeness to the group, right? So especially in these conference cases, if that person does ask that like question to take a stab at you, the group sees that and they hear that and they know that you didn't like provoke it. They were trying to come at you. So they automatically the group kind of self-selects those assholes out a little bit. And you'll be surprised how much the group kind of defends the speaker too, right? We're not even defends the speaker, but just calls out the person being a dick, right? And says, hey, come on, man, that's not the time for this or whatever. So I don't know. There's two sides in my opinion. Plus, I have a little love for confrontation, so I kind of like when that happens. But that's just my personal thing.
Gee, Matt, I didn't notice. Anyway,
it's right here. I wear it on my sleeve.
I do think too. Like the thing that could differentiate a YouTube video from a conference talk is you're in the audience, you can ask questions. Because there's sometimes I'm watching like a YouTube video or something and I'm like, man, I really want to ask this question. And it's like, I can't ask the question because it's not a live thing. Whereas if you're in an audience and you can just ask questions, that'd actually be an interesting talk format. Just like having people be able to be more like a workshop, but like a mini workshop where people can like stop and ask questions and all of that.
Yeah. Or maybe a schedule with fewer talks, but a half-hour buffer in between each one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like perhaps conference organizers are like, we can't have empty space. We gotta fill the space. We gotta fill the space. We have to have some breaks, but we can't have too many breaks. Because
I feel like this wouldn't be a break. It would be a discussion moment. You know what I mean? I feel like it would be structured, but it would be breathing space to discuss before you dive. Yeah. Before, well, I wouldn't call it that, but like discussion space. Because I also feel like I take a hot second to digest content, and I feel like you have one talk, and then you're actively trying to digest what you've just learned, and then the new talk's on. You're like, oh, okay. And then you lose all the information you were trying to digest. So by the end of the day, like, oh, I remember that talk, but wait, what was the content? Like, it completely has escaped me because I had no time to digest and marinate in the knowledge. Maybe that should be what we call it, marination time. Kris doesn't like that word for some reason.
It's an interesting choice.
It is an interesting choice. I don't know. I'm on multiple sides of the fences here. Like, on one hand, sometimes shorter talks are a bad thing. Outside of lightning talks are a completely different format where like that's the whole idea is to pack as much into 7 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever as possible. Like that's fine. And that's usually they're fun. They're more airy. Mm-hmm. But like a 15-20 minute talk, you don't really always have time to get into the zone and warm up to your audience a little bit and like just build that rapport up with the audience. But then I can see an hour talk being like, okay, this person land the plane already, please. But an hour talk with someone that's really enthusiastic and fun keeps you captivated, right? It's the reason why we're okay with watching 2.5 hour movies that keep us captivated versus like an hour movie that sucks. Mm-hmm. So there's obviously, it depends all over this, but I do agree that the best conversations I had were after a talk where I can talk to the speaker with a group of people standing around the speaker, just kind of having a discussion, asking questions. And I haven't really seen people be super mean about these questions and try to get at the speaker, but I have seen people be really weird, like the starstruck weird of like, you're a speaker, oh my God. And it's like, please don't do that. We're all people. We just want to have normal discussions with shared interests. We don't need the whole, like, nobody's on a pedestal. That just ruins the vibe, in my opinion. So
yeah,
don't be weird.
What do you mean? That's why I do it. Do it for the adulation of the attendees.
Yeah.
F the hierarchy.
Also, fences by definition have two sides. So when you said multiple sides of the fence.
Yeah, I misspoke, man. Okay. Right, I don't know. Okay. As soon as I said it, I was like, that doesn't make sense. And I was trying to keep going so that,
I almost interrupted you. I was like,
5-dimensional fences exist.
Well, actually.
Yeah, I'm playing 4D chess here, Kris. I don't know what you're doing, but it's okay.
Here's my 3-sided fence.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Trents.
No. Okay, I feel like we've talked this.
You did
part
this.
I don't think fence means to. Anyway, this is completely. We've gone off the rails. The rails are they do not exist. We are completely off them. We are somewhere else.
Par for the course.
Listen, there's no assigned topic for break. We're just here chilling. We're here chilling.
Agreed.
What are y'all most excited about for GopherCon this year?
Getting my steps in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally excited to see Angelica running around like a mad woman, keeping the conference held together with popsicle sticks and glue and duct tape.
Being still in active recovery from a total knee replacement, I'm not looking forward to getting steps in. Running around.
It's okay. Angelica will do all the steps you need for you.
Yeah, you can just give me all your jobs and I will do them for you.
I will be walking slowly with a cane.
Oh, Lord. Going anywhere with you in the city is going to be interesting. Listen, you're
All
just
jokes aside, though, I'm most excited. Well, I am excited about the steps. That is also good. But I am most excited to see my buddies, my friends.
Yes. As annoying as it will be walking around Manhattan with you, Dylan, I am excited to see you. I can't walk slow in general, and I get very annoyed at tourists who are walking slow and in my way. So walking with someone that is going to have to walk.
I've been there a few times, and I've grown to understand that there is a Manhattan walking pace that you're supposed to adapt to.
Yes. It's very important. We take our walking speed very seriously here. We have places to go.
It clicked when it's like, look, if you walk this fast, then all the way down the street, the crosswalks change and you don't have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is accurate. Yeah. So GopherCon attendees, when you're in the city, please adjust your walking pace. This is not your little smaller city. This is a big city. There's a lot of people. And if people seem rude to you, they're not being rude. You are just in their way. You've inconvenienced them, and they're letting you know in the most New York way possible. And watch out for the pizza rats.
True.
The pizza rats.
But like in a good way, like look out for them. They're worth seeing.
Yeah. Our rats are a special breed, especially the ones that fly. Fucking pigeons. God damn.
I will say that the times that I've been to Manhattan, as a deep Southerner, the one thing that bugged me more than anything else is you go out at lunchtime and everyone goes to lunch at the same time, and you go to whatever stand or restaurant or booth, and there's nowhere to sit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, do you people not sit down for lunch? And everyone's standing up holding their styrofoam container of whatever the case may be, and their jar of kombucha, because no one drinks soda in New York either, apparently.
Not one of us. Not one.
I mean,
No, I'm just kidding.
we drink a lot of soda. I mean, people drink kombucha.
Yeah.
It depends on what neighborhood you're in. That's for sure.
Yeah. I was like Midtown, Lexington, and 42nd.
Oh, you're on the east side. See, there's your first problem.
Sorry, what does that mean?
I was working for a startup under a hedge fund, so we were.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
Angelica was immediately insulted by my slander for the east side. So,
Yeah, without giving away where I live, because I'm not going to do that on a podcast. Offended.
I mean, I don't think I'll be attending much talks, honestly, at GopherCon. There's not much that excites me here. There's a few that I might attend that I see, but I'm not really there for the talks. I want to see you all. I want to see people I know, and I'm really just excited for it to be in our backyard because
yeah,
you know,
I should
the
have said
culture, the kind of idioms are different, right? And I'm familiar with the area, so like it's always nice to be in a place where you're familiar. So I'm excited for that, and you know, hopefully that lowers hopefully that
That's
lowers
going to be
the,
amazing.
I'm super excited to have it be in a place that I spend so much time. So it's gonna be such a different conference experience for me.
It's so weird. I'm going to go to sleep in my own bed every night. Like, that's going to be so nice.
Yeah.
right.
Even even if it came down here, I couldn't do that because GopherCon New Orleans would be my backyard, but it's still.
I like the sound of that though.
It's still an hour plus from like the convention center to my house. That would be a bit too much of a commute.
I mean, it's like Matt. Matt's not gonna NJ Transit it into to the conference every day.
No, not every day. No, I'm going there. I'm staying in a hotel, even though I am close enough to do NJ Transit every day, but it doesn't make sense, especially since I'm probably gonna stay out late with everybody.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, if I lived in a different borough, I would not be. I would get a hotel. I would not be training it.
That should have been a piece of advice. Like first timers, pace yourself.
Yeah,
definitely pace yourself. This is one conference.
Don't stay out till 4 and go to bed hammered the first night. It will be a rough time.
Yeah.
Since I am close to New York and like could take the train in and whatnot, this is one of the times where the community day and all these extra things that happen a day or two before the conference, I can attend them.
Yeah.
Again, I still don't have an incentive to, but I can.
But you can.
Yeah, but I can now because I don't have to worry about the hotel costs. I could just commute to these if I wanted to attend them.
2 years ago, 3 years ago, the first time in Chicago, CrowdStrike like organized this whole community day thing, and no one came.
Whoop.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it was like the 8 CrowdStrike people and the people hanging out with Ron building drones.
That's why I understand the Tiny Go hack session being a day early or whatever, because I know Ron generally travels farther and like, you know, you want to be there earlier and blah, blah, blah. And I get that. And it's also like just a place for people to just hack on things. It's not really like a workshop or whatever. It's just sort of come and go as you please. So I get that. But if you're not in that space, like what's your incentive, right? To be there that day. And that's my biggest thing with conferences is I don't think they know their own schedule well, right? It's like, for example, Monday, like let's look at the GopherCon schedule. Monday is Women Who Go. Tuesday is the workshops and community day. Wednesday, Thursday are the actual conference days with talks and whatever. Who's coming in on Monday? Right?
I mean, the only thing on Monday is Women Who Go. So
right. So only people that are going to want to go there are the people that are going to want to attend that specific meetup. But again, you're asking them to pay for the travel or the hotel costs. A lot of cost. Tuesday, if you're not doing a workshop, if you didn't have the privilege of getting it sort of paid for by your employer, like why are you going to come in on Tuesday? So for me, as someone who can attend all 4 days, what's my incentive to attend the first 2 days? And it's really going to be, what are you all doing? Right? Like, are you all doing something?
I was going to say that. I was like, come see me.
Well, that's exactly why I will be there to see you all and to kind of do this sort of off agenda thing.
It's convenient that I've had the work or the conference pay for my hotel. Almost the whole time. So it's like I get there Monday afternoon, can go check in, settle down. We can meet up and hang out for dinner Monday night. And then to be around on Tuesday, like, yeah, I'm not doing a workshop, but so there's not really anything concrete going on during the day. So it's just going to be random, whoever else is there, whoever I meet up with.
Right. I wanted to bring up a topic that I think break is the perfect thing to talk about on.
Do it.
How do you all feel? Go ahead. Oh, you said do it. Yeah. Got it.
Do it, lady. Anyway,
do it. How do you all feel about conference pricing? Not just the cost in general, but the tiers, like early bird, and as it goes, it's more expensive over time. Corporate versus individual versus academic. Like, how do you feel about these things?
I have mixed feelings because it's kind of, I don't know, to some extent, it feels like price extraction. Like, oh, we're going to charge more for the people who work is paying for it because big corporation is going to be willing to pay more. But I get it. Like, if you're on your own and you're just going, then like you said, all of the hotel and the flights are coming out of pocket. So the admission price kind of needs to be lower to get people to come.
Right.
I don't like the pricing tiers personally. Like I don't like both aspects. I don't like the fact that early bird is so much cheaper than like later registration. And I understand how supply and demand and general markets work, and I get that. But like I don't always have the ability to see 6-10 months out into my schedule, right? I might not know I'm going to a conference until like a month or two beforehand, where the employer or whatever like understands the schedule enough to say we're going or not. And by then you're paying way more. And I think that's kind of silly personally, because those are the people you probably want to bring to your conference because they have arranged their schedule to do that, right? Not the ones that have planned so far in advance that like, oh yeah, I'm going to KubeCon this year and I know that 10 months ago. It's like, well, I don't know that because I could be going to another conference that overlaps with KubeCon. I don't know that yet. So I don't like the early bird pricing for that reason. That being said, early bird pricing is really nice when you do know that you're going to conference so far out and you can save a crap ton of money. So I'm mixed on that. The corporate versus individual versus academic tiers, that pisses me off personally. It does sound like price gouging or price extraction. For the academic tier, I totally get. You know, you're a student or whatever, a faculty, fine. We have such discounts in other industries. But the corporate versus individual, I never understood that one because it's like, it just screams to me, you don't know how to manage your money and you don't know how to budget your conference, and you're an insurance company now. You're just making everyone pay for it and for everyone else to get the benefit. And I don't like that. And I just wondered why, like, I don't remember this ever being really a thing until like the last couple years, so to speak.
Part of me wonders too, like how much money you're actually making on that at the end of the day. The couple $100 difference in ticket prices.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. It doesn't seem right to me. Like I am an individual attending, but if my company pays for it, you want me to pay double? Some cases are double. Like you want me to pay almost double?
Yeah. But also,
why?
What counts as a company?
Well, right.
It's like a one-person LLC is supposed to pay extra? Like...
Yeah, and it's like... And then they always spin it in the guise of, oh, you're helping other people attend. How? What scholarship like, am I getting an extra ticket? Because if I'm paying double, why don't I get an extra ticket and bring a buddy? That way, like, that'll help the conference. You know what I mean? I'm unclear as to what the real benefits
I could
are.
understand in the guise of like, oh,
food maybe.
You can deduct this, so it's actually like less money for you overall because of how taxes work. But still a weak sauce.
True.
Argument. I don't know, Angelica. Yeah. Why are there different ticket prices?
I do not set the prices for GopherCon.
Oh.
So I cannot speak to that directly. That being said, if you're asking for my opinion as an individual, unaffiliated with any organization, I like the student discount. I agree, like Matt, with what you've said, like that's something in life, like you can get a student discount, you show your student card, like that I think is really great, and it's a great opportunity to make it affordable for people who otherwise wouldn't be able to come. The early bird, though, I think serves two functions. I think one, it gives the conference organizers an early signal of how many people are going to attend, also allows them to start planning with actual money in hand, and also incentivizes, like, because we've talked about this actually in our episode that we're talking about now, there are so many conferences, so many choices. I think it's also a way to like be like, hey, lock in, like you are going to our conference this year. The corporate versus individual, I do have qualms with. I understand why conferences might want to do that. The argument being like individuals shouldn't have to pay as much as corporations that might have like a conference budget or might be able to spend more money. And by making that ticket lot like more expensive, you can make the early birds, you can make the individuals cheaper, as opposed to being like, okay, we need this much money to be able to put this conference on. Everyone will have to pay the same for a ticket. Like, I think it's trying to incentivize more people who don't have sponsorship to be able to come. But I think the problem there is, and I've heard this from companies, be like, oh, well, why don't you just buy the individual one and we'll just reimburse you?
Yeah.
Like, they're not even going to do the corporate one anyway.
Yeah.
And like I can attend more conferences, right? Because even with the corporate budget, some companies, they don't pay for every conference, right?
No.
You, like if you want to attend 4 or 5 conferences a year or 3 or 4 or whatever, some companies will pay for that. Some companies say no, you just have a set budget of $3,000-$4,000 for the whole calendar year. Use that for your conferences. And when you do that on the corporate ticket tier, you're really only going to one conference a year, right? If that, if you could even squeeze it into that. Whereas if I paid the individual price, I could probably go to 2 conferences a year. And it's just like, no wonder why conferences are dying or whatever, because you're not letting us go and spend the money wisely on these things. And then you're almost incentivizing people to pay for the individual ticket and then just reimburse it anyway. Like, what are they going to do? Show up at your door and be like, hey, you did this thing. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. Maybe we
go
should
to
more
check in.
transparency.
No, I see that you work for Big Corp. I'm going to need you to hand me an extra $300.
Yeah, and it's like, well, actually, if you're going to ask me for the extra $100, I'll just not attend. I just won't go then. Congratulations. You played yourself. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me. But conferences, they're an interesting thing.
For sure.
I think it's a bit ironic that people actively involved in GopherCon spent the entire episode saying, no, don't even bother with the talks. Just show up and hang out with people.
I didn't say that. I really like the talks. I just think they need to be spattered in.
So one aspect of that we didn't talk about during the episode, and it's happened both of the last 2 years. Like we've kind of said, oh, don't worry about going to the talks because they're going to be on YouTube anyway. They've had, GopherCon specifically has had AV problems and recording problems both of the last 2 years. So there are talks that never made it to YouTube.
Also, the length of time it takes to get the talks on YouTube is ridiculous. And it
used to be like 6 weeks.
Yeah. I'm not shitting on the people. I'm shitting on the process. Like,
yeah, it used to be 6 weeks, 2 months, maybe.
Yeah.
And now it's like
7 months,
4 months before the first one show up, and they trickle in over months afterwards.
Yeah, I can't stand that. Again, this is where I really align with people who are stepping away from the status quo. If you're trying to throw a conference that's like abnormal and away from these status quo things, I want to attend that conference. So if you know of any of those that are like kind of off the typical path, that's the conferences that I want to go to, because I'm kind of getting tired of the typical format. So listener, viewer, please send me a message.
Fallthrough Conf 2030.
Yeah. We should just do a small little conference. That would be really fun.
Oh, a cute little regional New York-based conference.
Yeah, why not?
Sure, why New York? Why not Louisiana?
Baton Rouge.
Let me tell you how majorities work.
Let me tell you, when 4 out of 5 people live in the same metro area. Bye, Angelica.
Absolute pleasure. Have a great day.
See
Bye.
you soon.
Oh, I love it.
See, when 4 out of 5 people live in the same metro area, Dylan.
No, I understand it.
And one of them lives in a swamp.
Spent my entire life in flyover land. I know how it works.
Yeah. No, hopefully one day we'll actually be able to put together a little conference, because that was the original idea for Fallthrough, was a conference. Now it's just a very successful podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Do you all have anything else you want to chat about?
I don't think so.
No, not today.
Okay.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, after your long hiatus.
It's been a minute.
It happens. This is why we have many a host, many a people, so that we can all take time off when we need to take time off and do our other jobs and all of that.
I will see y'all in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monday,
Oh my god, yeah.
3:30. I should be at the hotel.
Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So now, listener, that you know where Dylan's going to be on Monday. Actually, this is, I guess, in a few hours, because it's going to ship on Monday. So, but there's a lot of hotels in New York, so you probably don't know which hotel it's going to be at. But let's close this up. Any last thoughts? Any last comments? Any last anything? YouTube before we.
No, I'm glad we had this conversation. I'm going to spend some more time thinking about conferences in general because, you know, we said some opinions and things today, but there's obviously a lot of nuance here, and I'm curious to see if my opinion will change after I'm basically doing a little conference tour the next couple of weeks, so I'm curious to see if my opinions will change after conferences that I attend.
Yeah.
I'm still a one and done. Like, I'm potentially going to a Confluent conference in New Orleans later this year. Now that I'm working on a Kafka, a stateless Kafka clone.
Oh.
But even that's right down the road, so it's not as much of a traveling event.
Bigger deal. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right. Well, viewer, listener, if you're at GopherCon and you see us, come say hi. We love talking to people. It's a lot of fun. And if you listen to this podcast at like 2x or whatever, just adjust to how our voices sound in real life. We're going to be talking a lot slower.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
For some of us, much, much, much slower.
That southern drawl. Southern drawl, Dylan. That southern drawl. All right. With that, peace. Thank you once again for watching / listening to this episode of Break. What'd you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and on social media. This episode of Break featured Kris Brandow, Matthew Sanabria, Dylan Burke, and Angelica Hill. Break is a Fallthrough Media production and is produced by Kris Brandow, and our beats are by Breakmaster Cylinder.